originated from boundless queendom. Royalty.
Welcome. You are now tuned in to Everyday People Radio Show, Intellectual Radio, and iHeartRadio station. I thank you. I appreciate you for allowing us into your space and sharing your time with us. We're glad that you're here. You can give us a call at 708-223-8953. Again, that number is 708-223-8953. I have an excellent guest for you here today. This show is going to be amazing. I hope that you all are blessed, encouraged, and you get something fresh out of today's show. First, I want to just let you guys know that advertising, promotion, and sponsorship donations opportunities are available here on Everyday People Radio Show. Why should you advertise on Everyday People Radio Show? Because your events, products, services, or business is the commercial. You get on-the-spot recorded national exposure, which means your product, services, business, or event will be aired and shared over and over again. That's the way you want it promoted. If you're interested in sponsoring or donating, what better cause than Everyday People Radio Show? You're giving back and supporting a broadcast that's all about you, all about people, connection, love, peace, and humanity. To connect with me, you can email me at sunup@gmail.com. So that's sunup@gmail.com. You can also inbox me on Facebook under my name, April Deshawn, or now that my website is up for my fan page, you can also go to Everyday People Radio Show on Facebook and connect with me, or you can text me at 224-214-0259. I do look forward to hearing from you. Also, if you have something that you want to talk about, let me know. Maybe you can be on the show, actually come down and sit with me and we can have a discussion about whatever you want to discuss, something that's positive and connecting for people. Let's see what else. So also, my brother who was here a couple of weeks ago, Abdullah Shabazz, his album release party is on June 9th at it starts at 9 p.m. The doors open at 10 p.m. It's going to be at the Quarry Event Center. The address is 2423 East 75th Street in Chicago, Illinois, 60649. The lineup is hot. The MC is going to be my brother in poetry and faith, Just Mike the Poet. So come on out and check him out. If you guys have any other questions, you can email him at Anthony Sarpy. So AnthonySarpy @yahoo.com. If you want any other information, you want to buy a ticket or anything, you can always contact him that way. We're going to take a brief poetry break, and we're going to come right back at you with my special guest, Intellectual Radio's own Nina, which is the host of Rose's Wishes. We're going to be right back with you.
Somebody called my phone. Come on, girl. If y'all don't sit down somewhere, yeah, girl, what's up?
Girl, let me tell you about these apples and oranges. I once read that a tree is known by the fruit it bears. And it doesn't have to tell anyone what kind of tree it is. So here is this man trying to convince me that he's an apple, just like me. But all I see is an orange. Clearly he's an orange. Apples don't look like that. Apples don't smell like that. See, an apple skin may be thin, but don't get it twisted. When you squeeze an orange, even with this thick skin, just apply a little pressure, all of the juice squirt out and then it's gone like it never existed. And if you peel the skin off first, well, that's more than half the battle. You don't have to put in that much work. Just devour each section piece by piece, and then it's gone. And to me, this shade of orange is so unattractive on a man. And he sees my sins, so he shows me all of his assets. Truly not impressed. He brags about all of his achievements to prove to me he's the best. And for good measure, he throws in that he's a soldier for the Lord and claims to hold the word abreast. He then reveals to me his family tree, and all I see is oranges. Dangling, standing, and sitting, getting squeezed, doing what oranges do with so much ease, squirting juice and quite pleased, but holding signs that read, I am an apple. Holding glass bottles labeled Snapple, chilling on cocktail tables. Exactly when did Snapple start handwriting their labels? Yeah, okay. Please understand that you can never squeeze an apple with your bare hand and get the same reaction as an orange. There's a process to the extraction. See, apples are pretty hardcore and you have to apply some serious pressure to get apple juice. And apples are not loose like oranges. There is absolutely no doubting trees don't have to speak, yet and still you keep shouting, I am an apple. Oh, I get it. You never heard of anyone being the orange of somebody's eye. Perhaps this is why you're trying so hard to be an apple. But baby boy, apples don't fall that far from the tree. And I see your tree, and there are no apples hanging from it. So unless orange is the new red, clearly you are an orange.
Welcome back. You are tuned in to Everyday People Radio Show with and founder April Deshawn. This is a iHeartRadio station through Intellectual Radio. We thank you for your time, for your energy, for sharing your space with us. That shouts out to Black Butterfly. You were just listening to her CD. It's called Your Wings Are Ready, available on CD Baby, Spotify, iTunes, all the music outlets. You can check her out. She is an awesome poetess, as you can see. Her album is hot, 7 tracks, all flaming. So check it out. Today here on our show, we have Nina, the host of Rose's Wishes. So today's show is going to be awesome. I hope you guys are inspired, encouraged, healed, and blessed in some type of way, shape, or form. We're going to go ahead and jump into this interview with this queen, and we're going to rock out today. How you doing, Nina?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad you could make it and be on my show.
Yes, ma'am. I promised you. I told you I was going to do it. Here I am.
Yes.
Thank you for coming to my birthday party. I appreciate it.
It was blessed. It was amazing. This woman has so much love and gives so much love, and she definitely got it back. I'm so glad that we were able to celebrate with you. That was awesome.
I had fun.
Yes. So let's talk about you. How did you get started in radio?
I got started in radio because I was on Sister Talk radio. Actually, we're going to go back. Mocha had me on her show on Intellectual Radio like last year or year before last. And I came on. I was like, okay, this is something that I wouldn't mind doing. But then I came back last year and I was on Sister Talk Radio. And I just got so inspired. And I was like, nothing to it, what to do it. So they was like, talk to Earl afterwards. And here I am.
Awesome.
Here I am.
So you started your show last year as well?
Last year, yeah.
Okay. I started my show this year. So awesome. Now, how did you come up with the name Rose's Wishes?
My mother's name is Rose. She passed away from breast cancer. And my mother always had a lot of wishes that she wanted granted. And she wanted to see me fulfill a lot of wishes that she had for me in my life. So half of them I got accomplished. I still got a few more to go. But that's why I named it Rose's Wishes after my mom.
Okay. Now, you're a poetess.
Yes, ma'am.
And a playwright.
Yes.
Let me see. Do I want to go through the poetry portion first? Do I want to put you on the spot? I think I want to put you on the spot.
You want to put me on the spot?
Yes. I think I want you to do a piece for us real quick in the beginning of the show.
Thank God for my poetry, my therapy. Through these spoken words, I don't speak any broken words or adverbs. So if I said something foul you heard, then God, please silence my words. Because I know that each week when I speak, my words are unique. So before you critique me, know that Miss Hall has ran into many brick walls. And I pick myself up when I fall. And I put many miles on these shoes and I paid my dues. And if I had to decide between something and poetry, I wouldn't want to choose because I refuse to lose my gift because I didn't use it the right way. And I'm a true believer of if you don't, God will snatch it away. So I would like to thank the poets, the ones that came before me and the ones today. The Mama Brendas, the last poets, the Sam Greenleys, who all embraced me with their presence. Because see, time is of the essence. And if I missed you in my thank yous, then you know who you are. I want to thank you for making me a better child. From a better child to a better teenager. From a better teenager to a better adult. From a better adult to a better poet. From a better poet to a better person. Because see, if there's no you, then there's definitely no me. And thank God for my poetry. That's that piece.
Yeah. Type this now, y'all can. Yes, Nina, you are awesome.
Thank you.
Now we're going to just jump into everything. Now, domestic violence is an issue that gets a month of attention. However, many people, just like other events and issues, this is something that people, men, women, and children live with daily in various measures. Statistically, 20 people per minute are abused physically by their partner in their lifetime. So that's women and men. For adults, this equates to 1 in 3 women, 1 in 4 men, which is 10 million plus per year in the US alone. For children, the statistics are now 7.2 million. Sadly, in the US, this is one of the worst records amongst industrialized nations. The average of loss of a child is 5 children daily from child abuse and neglect. Can you talk to us a little bit about your experience with domestic violence, and then talk about how you survived and overcame that?
Well, I was in actually I was in an abusive relationship, not once, but actually twice. The first one I got out like immediately, like as soon as it started happening, I got out like immediately. But the second one, I was living in Atlanta, and I met this guy when I was working at Circle K. And at first I wasn't going to talk to him, but eventually I ended up talking to him, and we started talking for a while. But it was like months into the relationship when I already caught feelings that I really found out that first of all he lied about age. He told me that he was, I want to say like 25 or 24 or something like that. Come to find out he was only 19.
Oh, wow.
And at that time, I was like 26. I mean, well, not that much of an age difference, but you still hearing somebody in their teens, you're like, oh, they a baby. You know what I mean? But so it was too late then because I'd already caught feelings for him. But I mean, we was together for 3 years. The first 2 years actually were not bad at all. They were actually good. I mean, this is funny to say, but it was good. And the third year that I was with him, it was like, I don't know. It's just like one day he just snapped, and it was like he just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And this man did like everything to me under the sun. I'm talking like pistol whip me every day, and burned my clothes, shot at me in a crowded train station.
Wow.
Crashed my car because I wouldn't come home after work. I told him I had something to do after work. When I was at work in Atlanta, it seemed like that was the only peace that I had, because I knew once I left work and got home, it's like no telling what you about to get once you come through that door. He started like, abusing me like every day, taking my check, taking my money, having all type of women come in the house saying that they were his cousins, and come to find out they was, chicks that he was actually dealing with. So it just got worse. It got worse and worse and worse. And one day I just decided that I couldn't take it no more, because I was in Atlanta and my family was in Chicago or, other places. I was in Atlanta basically by myself. So one day I just went home and I got my stuff and I was doing collections. So I told my supervisor, I said, if I make enough money to purchase a car on my lunch break, I'm gone. I'm leaving them clothes. I'm leaving everything behind, because it was getting bad. And I just had a feeling that my life was like literally at stake. So I got my check and made enough money. I brought me a purple Lumina, a purple 96 Lumina. I never forget. I just love that car. Plus it was purple.
Which is your favorite color?
So I brought me a 96 Lumina and drove all the way home to Chicago by myself. But what I had forgot was that my mother used to send me FedEx packages, like care packages, to Atlanta all the time. And like I said, I left everything in the house. I didn't go home and get anything. So come to find out, he had tore the address off one of the FedEx boxes. Got on a Greyhound, had never been to Chicago a day in his life, got on a Greyhound and literally found me. One day, my mother stayed in Berkeley on Taft and St. Charles, that apartment building on the corner. I was walking down the driveway and I just heard something, Nina. I'm like, that cannot be this man because he is in Atlanta. That cannot be him. So I'm steady walking. And then all of a sudden it got louder, like, Nina, did you hear me calling you? So I looked and I saw him and I just took off running. And it was like I was running in slow motion. I got to the door and I couldn't get my keys, was fumbling. It was like something in a movie. I couldn't get the door open fast enough. So he came behind me and put a gun to my back and told me that if I don't go in my house, my mother's house, I'll lie to her and tell her that everything I told her about him was a lie, that he was going to kill me and her. At the time, I didn't care about me. You know what I mean? I just wanted to make sure my mother was okay. So I went in her house and told her I lied about him. He wasn't this bad person, this, that, and the other. And he ended up being, my mother's house for a couple of days. But my mother had left and went somewhere. I think she went downstairs in the laundry room or she went somewhere. I think she went somewhere and she came back. But when she left, he saw that as an opportunity for us to leave. So he again threatened me, made me get in the car, beat me all in the head with the gun that he had, and threatening to shoot me if I don't get in the car. So he made me drive all the way back to Atlanta. I drove all the way back to Atlanta. My mother didn't know where I was because, like I said, she was gone. When I got home, when we got to Atlanta, so it was like as soon as we touched Georgia soil, this man just went crazy. He was dragging me out the car and all type of stuff and just beat me like he had a stick, beat me with sticks. And his mom, I guess she got tired of it because she came outside and she tried to help. So both of us was fighting him. And eventually, he gonna run away because one of the neighbors called the police. And when police came, naturally he was gone. But it was like a couple of days later, like I, tried to wait till everything died down, and I was gonna go back to the house and get like my important papers and stuff, and everything else could have just wanted to just stay there. So when I went to the house, his mother kept saying, "Are you sure you're gonna be okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm all right. He probably over to one the house. That was a girl he was cheating on me with. He probably over her house. It's gonna be okay." So the way my apartment was set up, like you come through the back and you got to go through the kitchen and past the bathroom to get to my bedroom. So when I went in the house, I'm walking past the bathroom door, and next thing you know, I just felt like force on my neck, and he was literally like choking me. And last thing I remember was like the kids say, doing number one and number two on myself at the same time. Wow. And I just remember just blacking out. And when I came to, I didn't know where I was. It was like a bright light like this. I was in the hospital and they was like, "Miss Hall, we thought we lost you." And I was like, what happened? And they was trying to tell me what happened, but I was so like,
lethargic.
I couldn't even get it right. I couldn't even figure out like what happened what happened and stuff. But by the grace of God, I'm alive. He thought he killed me. And maybe like about 4 or 5 years later, 2004, I got a call from Columbus, Ohio, because he had went down there to Columbus, Ohio to visit his dad, and he was dating this other girl. He put his hands on her, but she locked him up, but they knew she was going to get him out. They knew she wasn't going to press the charges, but the case against me was still open. So I went down to Columbus and stuff. They just told me, just bring yourself. I went down there and stayed and went to court. And when they called my name, he looked like he seen a ghost. Because the last time he saw me, remember, he choked me. He thought I was, he just held his head down and started shaking his head because he knew it was over. So they only gave him 15 years, for what he did to me. And I do my piece purple when I talk about how they gave him 15 years, but his 15 year is this year. He get out in July. He get out July of this year. And everybody, first question people ask me is, am I scared? I'm not, because you're saying I got a lot of people around me that's ready. So I'm not scared, but yeah, because I even called the jail that he's getting out of to even see if he can get more time. But once he served his time, that's basically it. But that's my story. But I'm here to talk about it and tell about it. And,
so with him getting out, is there any way that you could like do some type of appeal or anything where you could present your case to the judge or to a platform of I guess, correctional administration or anything like that?
I'm actually looking into that. I'm looking into that because I'm so serious. That man does not need to be out because he just got a history of like putting his hands on people, and I don't see it changing. You know what I mean? It might change for a little while, just to for the front it off to make it seem like you're not on that anymore. But I don't see it. I just feel sorry for the next lady that he get with.
Has he or any of his family members tried to contact you?
When he first got in jail, he contacted me. I got off that phone with him, contacted the warden. They actually let me speak to the warden of the jail where he was. And that was rare because they don't do that. But they let me talk and I told him what happened, and he had never called me again because I was not playing with him. I'm the reason why you in there. You think I want to talk to you? No, I won't have anything to talk about. You just tried to take my life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Now, this was a man who you were with.
Yes, ma'am.
Who abused you.
Yes.
He cheated on you.
He did.
He just like basically did everything that opposite to love. Did he claim to love you?
He did, but how can you love somebody that you hurting? Love is not supposed to hurt. So I had to learn that love is not supposed to hurt. Love. A lot of people get love and lust mixed up. They really do. They think it's love, but it's really not. It's just pure lust that you looking after somebody, and that's what I think it was for him. Cause you can't possibly love somebody that you doing that to, because the stuff that he used to do to me, man, I wouldn't even do to a dog. It was bad. It was really
so
bad.
With that, I wouldn't even say it was lust. I'm asking these questions because I'm trying to kind of understand, by you being in a domestic violence community and you kind of help other people with domestic violence. Have you come across any answers as to why people, not just men, but women also, why people abuse their spouse or their girlfriend or people that they claim to love? Why do they abuse them and want them and think that they're supposed to just accept that and be with them?
I heard a lot of people that actually abuse people say that, it's the blame game. She provoked me or he provoked me, or, they not listening to me, or, something like that. But how can somebody provoke you? All you got to do is just walk away. People just learn how to just deal with their emotions and just walk away. It'll just be much better. You know what I mean? But people always want to act on impulse or act on emotions. And then that's when the feelings start coming in, and that's when, people start getting hurt. Because I never can understand, like, if somebody want to talk to you about something, if we having a problem, let's talk about it. Don't start talking to me and hollering at me like I'm your 2-year-old child, and then now you feel like lashing out is your way of solving a problem. And then at the end of the day, baby, I'm sorry. I will never do it again. How many sorries can you be? I know you're sorry, but how many sorries can you say? Mm-hmm. How many sorries can you be before you start, doing it all over and all over again? So if anybody out there is in an abusive relationship, please, it's a lot of reasons why people stay. Fear, money, kids, time. It's a lot of reasons why people stay. But at the end of the day, your life is way more important than any relationship. Please get out. And I have an organization that I've started. It's called founded called Purple Pieces, and we have literally to this day saved like 3 people that was in domestic violence relationships to this day. So if you guys want that information, you can find me on Facebook or Instagram, Janine Nina Hall on Facebook. And
for your organization, do you have a page for that? For the
organization I do.
Itself?
It's called Purple Pieces. Purple Pieces. I think it's Purple Pieces 2016. You can go on there and you can find my page, or you can go on my Facebook page and you can get the link to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you, with Purple Pieces, you've been on the poetry scene for 30 years. Is that where you started doing poetry after that experience you had with domestic violence, or was it before then?
It was before then.
Okay.
I've been writing poetry since I was 14, and I've been performing since I was 19, and I just turned 48 last Friday. Yay!
Praise God.
Yes.
Because if you guys don't know, Nina was in an accident recently, like a few weeks ago, and that accident could have went a whole nother way. So that's why I tell you, I thank God that you're here today and that you made it, and we were able to celebrate with you for your birthday. That was awesome.
Yeah, I'm still hurting from that accident too.
Yeah, it takes time. It takes time to heal. So that's what's up. But with the piece Purple,
yes, ma'am.
That piece was about your whole ordeal with domestic violence, right?
Yes.
And then you also did a play.
Yes.
Based on that piece. That was your first play, right?
That was my first play.
Okay. Can you talk about that play?
That play Purple was basically like everybody hear my story, but it's actually acting it out. You know what I mean? You actually get to see some acting. So you get to see physically what I went through. And then with that play, I also have like different survivors like come and tell their stories, because a lot of people that I've been coming across lately have been like they're seeing their parents go through it. And then I've been finding a lot of people lately that been knowing for years would never think they would be abusers are abusers. I've been finding that out lately too. So with that play, I, try to give survivors a platform to tell their stories and stuff. And each time I put on Purple was not going to be like the first one. Like the first one was just that one. The second one was different. I'm putting it on again this year in October. So be ready for you guys come out and support it. Yeah, trust me, you would not be disappointed.
Yeah.
Each time I do it, I have sold out shows.
And do you have different actors for each time you do it, or is it the same person?
I do. I've had different actors. Like the first play that I had, it was a young man named Tim. He went to Foreman. And oh my God, he was awesome. And I had Misha, 411, was playing me. And then for the second play, because Misha was pregnant at the time, so she couldn't play me, I had Candace Unbreakable Harris play me. And then I had another brother play Quincy. So yeah, it's each time I have like different actors like, playing me and playing him. But yeah.
Okay. So when it's time for you to do your productions, how do you choose your cast? Like, do you do auditions, and how does that work? How would somebody audition for a play? I'm asking for myself.
You just audition. You just audition because you just told me that you want to do it. And that's how I do. People come up to me and be like, Nina, the next time you have a play, I want to be in it. Okay, you just audition. Because in a way that kind of cut down for me doing auditions. Sometimes I may do auditions, sometimes I may not. But if, I'll reach out to those that has told me that they want to be in a play because I always remember you. So I come to you first.
Okay. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Now you've been writing and producing your plays for about 10 years, right? Mm-hmm. What are some of the most difficult challenges when you're putting together a production?
Trying to get everybody on one accord, like trying to get everybody to come to the practices, to trying to get everybody to commit to it. You know what I mean? The last play I just had, the one you were at, thank you for supporting me. What happened to Black Love? I started off with maybe like 10 or 12 actors. It got down to maybe like 4 or 5 that was still on board. I had to pull people from other places. I had to ask people at the last minute, but it came out wonderful. It really, really did. It came out like it was always, put together like that, but it wasn't. I had to cut out some parts of the script and make, put other stuff in, but that's the only challenging thing is trying to get everybody on one accord.
Because you had to improvise. Mm-hmm. So what do you think will help you as far as level of commitment for people that are asking to be in your plays? Like, how do you ensure that they're serious about performing, or they're serious about what you're serious about? Because they need to be on the same level that you're on with your production, because this is your passion, this is your life. So when you're auditioning people, how do you try to ensure that they're actually on board with the whole production, where you don't run into that type of issue again with your next production?
I just basically give them the rope and see if you're going to hang yourself, because I just basically I can tell if you're serious because I give you tickets. I see if you're going to sell your tickets, or if you're going to, come to practice, or that's things like that is how I can tell if somebody is serious or not. Because a lot of people, they start off, doing good, but then it's like towards the end they fall off. Like, they had prior engagements that they didn't mention in the beginning, which could have been worked out, or I could have worked around their schedule. But it's like at the end now, everybody is busy and everybody got something to do. So I was like
It's showtime.
It's showtime. Like I tell people, Nina the poet is way different from Nina the playwright, because Nina the poet, this is just me. If I mess my poem up, then that's something that I did to myself. But when it comes to my plays, I'm like super serious, because I don't want to put on a play and people be like, oh my God, what was that? So I try to put on, because one day I want to see my name in lights,
right,
like this bright light.
Right.
So
you want to put some respect on my name.
Respect my shoes.
That's right. That's right. That's how I feel when I was, because I, volunteered a lot with my kids, and I was always into the performing arts aspect with dance and all that stuff. And I actually coached my kids in elementary into high school. And I was always the hardcore person. Like, I was like, if you're not in practice, you're not performing, and you need to be, you only gonna practice for a certain amount of time, and then it's performance every time you're doing this, because at a certain point you should have everything down pat. It shouldn't be any mistakes. It's not time to play. You have your time to socialize and do all that when the time comes. And I think that's kind of how it is with anything that you're passionate about, whether it's dealing with adults or kids. They have to kind of be on the same level as you and be just as passionate about it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Now, Purple was your very first play. Your last play was the one you just did.
What Happened to Black Love?
Yeah. How did you come up with What Happened to Black Love?
It's just a title that I was just thinking about, because Black love is just like really so hard to find. You know what I mean? You got so many people that's married, that's getting divorces. You got so many people that's in toxic relationships. And when you see like a good long relationship, and you see people that's in love, just loving on each other, that is just too cool to me. So I asked the question, what happened to Black love? And the answer was nothing. It's just always been here. You know what I mean? It's just people need to put more respect and more honesty and stuff in your relationships. And you need to perform a bond. You need to have a bond that is so strong, that is so airtight, that can't nothing, get through that bond. Because once people start getting in your business, or you start putting your relationship all over Facebook and all that stuff, eventually it's not going to end well. I mean, some people does, but for me, it just never ended well. So I never put my relationships and my business on Facebook. I just never did.
Yeah, I agree. I say when you're in a relationship with somebody, it should be you and that person. It shouldn't be you and your friends, your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your whoever. Because some people when you get married, you marry your family. No, I'm not marrying your family. I'm marrying you. Now, if you have kids, that's something different. You know what I'm saying? Your kids are under a certain age.
Right.
But when I'm marrying you, I'm marrying you. I'm not trying to have a discussion with your mama about nothing. I'm trying to have a discussion with your brother about nothing. Like, it's not their business, So it's time to be an adult. The Bible said that you cling to your husband and your wife. You leave your parents, your mother and your father, and you cling to your wife. So why do we need to talk to your family about anything?
I never could understand that. Because I'm still trying to find out where is that in the Bible. I don't know if it's in there or not. But
yeah.
So,
I don't agree with having everybody else involved in your relationship, whether it's a boyfriend girlfriend thing or a marriage.
I remember I went with a guy before. His mother acted like she was his girlfriend.
Yes.
She was just doing the most. Like, lady, that is your son. Yes. That is not your boyfriend.
And it's interesting that a lot of times that sometimes parents, I haven't really ran into it with fathers. I haven't experienced it on that level yet, but a lot of times with women, they take on their son like their man. Like, even young kids. My daughter had a boyfriend one time, and his mother was like mad. Like, she didn't want him to go anywhere. She was like, it's almost like she didn't want him to have a girlfriend. And I was like, because they can come to my house and it's always somebody there. They're not going to do nothing crazy. They're going to sit on the porch. They're going to be in the front room, watch TV, something like that. But she was just, and she knew, me, she knew my kids, she knew my situation, but she was just like, it was just like no nonsense. Like anytime he wanted to hang out with my daughter, she'd have him cleaning out cushions in the house, anything. She'll think of anything for that little boy not to come outside. My daughter was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, girl, don't worry about it.
Yeah, she was bipolar.
Yeah, it was like that was her man. I'm like, he's not your man.
That's nuts.
So, but to each his own. So you can go ahead and send out some shouts out because I've watched your show and I see you like to send shouts out to your loved ones and your family members. So if you want to do that, you're welcome to.
You know what? I try to love on everybody. I do. I got that from my mother, man. Every time I see somebody in parting ways, I always say, I love you. Because you always supposed to just love on somebody. That's just a great feeling. Because you never know, somebody, day could be going bad. And, you could walk past and speak to a person and make their day. So I just try to let everybody know that I love you. And trust me, if I tell you I love you, I so sincerely mean it. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And you're supposed to love on somebody. And I always tell people to invest in yourself because you are your best investor. Invest in yourself. And man, just I want to give a couple of shouts out. On Mondays, I do Voices Behind the Pen. It's on Poet Radio. You can call in and you can do pieces, sing, poetry, whatever you want to do. On Wednesdays, like tonight, we got a show that's on Poet Radio as well. It starts at 9:00 tonight. I can give you guys that phone number to call in. And on Thursdays, I have my own show here, Rose's Wishes Radio, but I haven't been on in a while because I've been trying to get myself together because I'm still kind of banged up from that accident. But hopefully next week I'll be back running and back up. And yeah, because that accident really hurt me kind of bad. But the devil is a lie. I'm not going to claim it. But other than that, that's all I have. I really don't have anything going on.
Okay. So no upcoming events for you right now?
Not right now that I can remember.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Awesome. So we'll go ahead and put that information out on my Facebook page and put it on her Facebook page if you guys want to call in to the show tonight. What's the name of the show tonight on Poet Radio?
It's Wednesdays.
Right.
Wordsmith Wednesdays?
Wordsmith Wednesdays. Okay. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell somebody about it.
So you guys just look on my page. I swear to God, I'm gonna share it on my page. You guys can find it.
Yes.
And you guys can find me on social media, Janine Nina Hall on Facebook. On Instagram, I'm Janine Hall 42.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys can find me.
Talk a little bit more about your foundation, Purple Pieces. You are the CEO and founder of it. When you started with your organization, how many people are involved as far as your administration? Do you have is there numbers that people can call, like a hotline, or how is it set up?
Actually, you just call my number.
Okay.
You can call my phone number and we just get the ball rolling, because when we come to rescue people, we're coming. And it's going to be like 7 or 10 of us. We're coming. And all of us are survivors. Everybody that's coming is a survivor. And we all coming. We don't give you time to change your mind, to think about it or nothing. Because what we do is we have people on all aspects. So we got one person that'll provide the housing if you need it. We got one person that will provide clothing if you need it. We got one person that will provide food. We provide everything that you need to get you safe and to get you somewhere where you don't, where you can be and don't have to worry about it, because it's a lot of shelters. I found this out. It's a lot of shelters. I know people that actually own shelters, and it's a lot of shelters that you have to pay to be there. You know what I mean? It's based on your family size. You literally have to pay to be at some of these, at these places. And it's just that's why so many people are turned away, because they don't have any money to pay to be in a shelter or something like that. So you guys can, I'll leave you with my phone number, and you guys can call me if you need my help. Because when we come, like I said, we're coming. The number is 708-674-6022. Again, my number is 708-674-6022. So call anytime. Because sometimes when you call that, that hotline, I had a friend of mine that was in a domestic violence situation, matter of fact, the other night, and it wasn't by a partner, it was by her actual daughter, her actual child. you know. And it's like, how could you do that to your mother? Your days, don't you understand your days are numbered? You don't understand that, but your days are numbered. And it's like when she called 911, they were asking her questions and she didn't have time to answer the questions because she's trying to fight for her life. You know what I mean? Sometimes people don't have time to ask questions or, nothing like that. So that's why, like I said, we come, and when we come, we're coming. So we're going to come and rescue you and, get you to safety. If you need to go to the hospital, whatever, we're taking you there. But that's what we do.
Have you had any men
I have.
try to?
I had one man that we rescued. He was with this young lady and she just kept stabbing him on a regular, like it was a sport or something. She just kept stabbing this man like every day, this stabbing this man. So we got him away from there. And he was reminding me of a woman because he was like conditioned and brainwashed for so long that this was the only lady that he can be with. Like it wasn't no other ones out there. So it's like this. Once you get out of domestic violence, that's when the battered women syndrome come in, because your body knows that you're free, but it's your mind that's been so conditioned for so long till you got to literally recondition your mind into thinking that I'm free. I'm okay. I'm not going back. You know what I mean? It's okay. And that's when like they say, the battered women syndrome come in. So that's what we have to do. We try to stick with people all the time. We just don't put you somewhere and then we forget about you. No, we keep in contact with you all the time, make sure you're okay and everything like that. So that's what we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, people, that there are lots of forms of abuse. Like Nina mentioned, there's also people abuse you with finances. They abuse you mentally, physically, emotionally. If you think that you may possibly be in an abusive relationship, you may be. And I think you should research it because it's no joke. Sometimes, to me, I've never been in a physically abusive relationship. I've seen them. I have experienced it on a level where someone wanted to kind of beat me up or whatever a long time ago as a teenager, and I'm crazy, so I just laughed at the person. Like they're like, have a brick in their hand, come here. What? Okay, tomorrow. So and this is something that his family members did. Like his cousins would beat on friends that were mine that were teenagers, and they say, oh, he was just mad. He loves me. Come to school with a black eye. No, he don't love you. Why is he hitting you if he loves you? So just check yourself. You have to love yourself, even though you may love that other person. You have to love yourself first, because you are the only you. You're the only one you, and you're the only one you that's on this earth. And you are special. You are important, regardless of what anybody has to say. You do have a purpose, so you have to protect yourself. In that.
You have to basically take your power back, because once somebody has power, they got control over your life. They got control over your whole entire life. Once you take your power back and demand that it's not going to be no more, absolutely not today, not ever, then you'll be okay. You'll be able to, control your life again and get your self back to the way you used to be. So that's what it is. It's just people taking your power and taking control over your life. That's exactly what it is.
Yes, absolutely.
And a lot of people don't know that they're in a domestic violence relationship because they think it's all physical. It's not. Emotionally, verbal abuse is like the worst. You got people, if you're in a relationship right now and you got somebody always talking about you, always calling you out your name, that's a form of abuse. You got somebody doing mental stuff, like playing mental games with you or whatever. That's abuse. Financially, you got people that's controlling your money. That's abuse. It's a lot of forms of abuse. Time. I've been with this person for 10 years. Form of abuse. It's a lot of forms of abuse, guys. Just know them and try to get away from. Like I said, you guys can call me if you're in a situation where you're trying to get out, and we'll help you get out.
Absolutely. Now, on a little lighter side, you are a member of 3BM.
3BM squad now.
Yes. So talk about 3BM. How did you even get started with that, and who's the founder of 3BM?
Momentum Garrett.
Yes.
Yes, my cousin Momentum. He's the founder. Him and Odyssey.
And I'm
Lewis.
trying to get him on the show. So Momentum,
Yeah.
if you're watching, I need you here, bro.
So it's three brothers in the mic. That's what 3BM stands for. It's Mo, it's Odyssey Lewis, and it's Rob Scroll Thompson. They are the three, that's the three brothers in the mic. And one day, this was like back in 2003, my cousin told me that he wanted to start like a family. Because at first we was 3BM and family. And he said he just had a dream that he had like 29 members. And by the grace of God, we got way over that amount of members to this day. So it's a lot of us. It's maybe like over 30 of us. But we stand strong. 3BM.
And the beautiful thing about your team is that not like you guys started a while ago, so some people branched out and they have their own group, like Hood Raised. He's a part of 3BM, but
Poetry Soul Child.
Yes, but
Jason Williams.
He has Team at Ease.
Salute.
And they hot. So everything that comes from 3BM, it seems to be hot from what I know.
Thank you.
So it's awesome. And we greatly appreciate you guys for sharing your gifts with us. I have just a few minutes left on the show, and I kind of want to do a piece. It's kind of a breakup piece.
Okay.
So it's called Quiet Torture. I think that's what I'm going to do. All right. I think that's the name of it. Let's see. Don't ask me. It's none of your business. If I told you that I loved you, it's because I did. If I told you that it's over, it's because it is. If I gave you the chance to love me and you couldn't reciprocate and then I walked away, don't get mad and say that I've changed. And don't tell me that you love me and try to knock me down. Don't ask about my happiness or the new love that you think that I found. Don't ask about my friends or the people that I know. It's none of your business who I deal with or where I choose to go. Don't ask me. It's none of your business. And please stop trying to tell me that you love me when all you want to do is keep me gagged and bound, locked away in your cage where no one else can see your quiet torture and how you've damaged me. I guess I let the cat out the bag, so to speak. Sorry, not sorry. No more holes, no more lies. I climbed out, I broken free, and there's no more disguise. Me go back to that? No, I don't think so. Yes, I am very strange, part of a peculiar people, but I'm not at all deranged. I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb, not crazy in the least. I know just what I want and just what I don't. See, your quiet torture will bury me. It ends my peace. Your quiet torture, it ends peace. And that's that piece.
Nice. Wow.
So that's Quiet Torture. You guys, make sure that you guys protect yourself, get out of that. And we'll see you next week on Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. right here on Everyday People, Intellectual Radio, and iHeartRadio station. Thank you. Much love, Nina from Rose's Wishes. Y'all make sure y'all tune into her every Thursday. At what time again, babe?
4 to 5.
4 to 5 every Thursday. Tune in here. Wednesdays, 5 to 6. Rose's Wishes. Thursdays, 4 to 5. One love, peace, and poetry.
Timid. In an environment of forced silence. Not by violence, but stifled by the one who led me. No options laid out, no more.